Good morning and merry meet, guys. My name is Houston. Welcome to my channel. Um, Today I wanted to do a video, a tag video. It's called the Instagram Witchy Community Tag. I was tagged by its creator, Noah Tempestari. Please forgive me if I got your name, messed up your name. Um, but it consists of 25 questions. I watched a couple videos of these questions yesterday, and I found a lot of interesting points of view. So I actually wanted to do this morning before I start work and give my points of view on the 25 questions. So, question number one: what type of witch are you? Oh, and I will post. I tag anyone who watches this, and I'll post the questions all in the description box. Plus, Noah's the link to Noah's video. So, question number one: what type of witch are you? I'm very eclectic, I guess you could say. I don't really title myself a hedge witch, a hoodoo witch, or whatever. I'm very eclectic. I pull from different paths. So, number two: can you show us your pinnacle, pendant, or sacred symbol of jewelry you wear? I wear my wizard's ring, which is of my choosing. I blessed and consecrated this ring. I wear it all the time. And I also have I don't know if you can see it. Pull the thing in. My symbol of Poseidon that I tattooed on my arm that I have with me all the time too. So those are my sacred symbols. Um, Number three, have you ever considered joining or creating a coven or circle? I have been a part of a couple different circles here in Charleston, but as of the moment, I am solitary. I have thought about making my own circle, um, but I don't really have time to do anything with that right now. So, excuse me. So I think maybe when the time is right, I'll make one. I really do want to make my own circle. I'm not so sure about coven, but circle would probably be the best thing I would want to make. But later on. Um, Number four, how do you feel about online covens and circles? I think they're a great opportunity for those of us who are stuck in the broom closet and want to practice with others, or who want someone to communicate with, to talk about their spells, talk about their magic. So I think it's a great thing. I've never been a part of one, just because I've had friends and that were pagan, and I could talk to them about stuff. So I've never been a part of an online coven or circle. Um, Number five, when and how did you first find out about witchcraft and Wicca? I was about 15 years old, 15 or 16, one of the two. I was in high school. In high school, it sounds weird, but I used to carry the book called Wizardology around with me everywhere, just because they had those cards, and I would actually use the cards inside to read people's fortunes. I didn't really know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing, but I was getting really accurate at things, so it kind of kept me going. And then one of my friends, we were in class, and she told me about, like, if you love that book so much, why don't you look up and research Wicca? And so I did, and that's kind of where my practice started. So, number six, when did you first realize you were a witch, and what made you realize that? I first realized that I was comfortable with the term witch and all the aspects that it includes when I started studying paganism. Not necessarily Wicca so much, but more paganism. When it got down to the earth-based and me being a hippie at heart, tree hugger, dirt worshiper, um, when I got to working with the seasons of nature and honoring both the male and the female aspects of deity, that's when I know. That's when I knew that this was the right path for me to be a witch. So, number seven, how old were you when you first started practicing? 16, 17, I think. So I haven't been. I'm 24 now, and I haven't really been practicing that long. But 16 or 17 is when I started. Um, Number eight, what was the first spell you ever casted, and did it work? The first spell I ever casted was Oh God. Um, I think it was a protection spell. Yeah, it was a protection spell for me at school, um, and for me in my car. Um, it worked for a while. I mean, it was successful for a while, and then it kind of rubbed off because I wasn't really that good at it. But it did rub off. I didn't redo it every month like you're supposed to, or like you should, like I should to do now. Like if you have a protection spell in your car, you should re-energize it every month with a full moon or whatever. I didn't do that, so the magic kind of wore off. But it worked for a good month and a half. You know, I miss close calls and stuff. I'm not a reckless driver by any means, but I do have a lead foot. Um, and so it did help me prevent any accidents during that time. Um, Number 9, have you ever had a spell fail or backfire? Yes, I have. I worked a spell with a friend of mine in high school. It was a love spell, and it backfired on us extremely bad. Um, he liked her, and she liked him. She just wanted to move it a little quicker, and he turned into stalker-esque. So we had to undo the spell and kind of banish those energies that were part of it, and then everything almost went back to normal. But number 10, where do you feel your power comes from? Um, I heard Noah's response saying that it comes from his emotions, and I think that's true. But I also feel that my power comes from my gut, like my solar plexus area. Um, it comes from my instincts and what I should do next. Also, I draw power from the earth, but I do agree with Noah that it comes from my heart, also from my emotions. Um, Number 12, what is the first witchy thing you ever bought yourself? Probably books. Probably. Because I have a ton of them, but I don't remember if that was the first thing I bought, or my athame was the first thing I bought that was witchy. Because I was always into knives and stuff. We'll go with either books or athame. Um, Number 13, what is the name of your favorite tarot deck? Um, I actually have a couple that are my favorite. It's really hard to say which one's my favorite because I love tarot decks and their art in general. I read tarot cards. Um, but it's in my top 5. This one counts as one, but it's the Book of Shadows. Well, no, it can count as 2. The As Above and So Below decks from the Book of Shadows series tarot. Those are 2 good ones. My Steampunk Tarot, that's a very pretty one. My Wizard's Tarot, and my Shaman's Tarot. Those are my top 5 that are my favorite that I use all the time. Um, yeah. All right. Number 14, what are some of your favorite herbs, incense, and crystals? I'm also going to do what Noah did and split it up. Some of my favorite herbs that I use all the time would be lavender, um, mugwort, and spearmint. Lavender, mugwort, and spearmint are like my top 3. Well, that and add cinnamon. That's my top 4. So we'll do lavender, mugwort, spearmint, and cinnamon. Yeah. Um, Hold on. Incense. My favorite incense of all time is patchouli. After that, frankincense and myrrh, dragon's blood, and we sell this incense at the shop. The orange is an orange spice incense, and that one smells really good. Um, Crystals, um, clear quartz, clear quartz, rose quartz, citrine. So I don't have to cut the quartzes. Um, Angelite's one of my favorites. Fluorite and Muakite jasper. Those are like some of my favorite crystals. Um, how do you feel about witches depicted in books, movies, and TV shows? I feel awesome. It gives. Um, I think it's an awesome thing to see the witch in the fantasy magical realm and not being that so much as a bad thing like the Wicked Witch of the West, even though it was a good movie. But I mean, so like a good thing like Charmed or Buffy or Witches of East End, even going into anime and things like that. And sometimes seeing those different types of shows and reading those different types of books, it helps, at least me. I talked about using anime in my magic and using different things from anime in my visualization and my magical practice, and I think that helps build upon. Um, so I think a great thing to have them shown in a positive light in books, TV, and on and in movies. So, how do you feel about witches? Ooh, that already read that. Number 16. Can you recommend some books, websites, or other resources to us on witchcraft and Wicca? I can recommend some authors. I don't really use websites as much. I mean, because I have a ton of books. Um, it just depends on where you want to go and where you want your path to go. But if you're going for like basic Wicca or basic, like, I would say basic Wicca, because witchcraft can take you, and there's so many authors on traditional witchcraft, on hoodoo and things like that. But for basic Wicca, I would go with Silver Ravenwolf, Scott Cunningham, and what is that person? Eden McCoy. Those three, and DJ Conway. Those four are really good for basic Wicca and like some in different aspects of magic. Some of my personal favorites that I've recently got is Orion Foxwood. He did a hoodoo and conjure book called Candle at the Crossroads. And then there's another book he's doing that I just haven't read it. Started reading it on traditional witchcraft. Something about a cauldron. I can't remember the name of it. But he's a really good author. I like the way he writes. Christopher Penczak is another good author. His Temple of Witchcraft series is an amazing series. If you want to start and learn the aspects of the craft his way, it's a great way. The inner, the outer, the shamanic, and the higher, and then he has two more, the divine. One split to God and Goddess. I haven't got those yet, but those are great books. So, number 17. Do you ever doubt your craft? I do. Sometimes I get into this low, I don't know, almost peppermint. Um, I get into this, I guess you could say, depressed state where it just happens that I doubt my magic, I doubt my path, and sorry, but then that quickly, once I get back in, it's kind of, that's almost with the next question, which is, have you ever experienced spiritual burnout? Any advice on it? And I have experienced spiritual burnout. I kind of experience it frequently because I compound so much knowledge and so much information that I get overloaded. And when I get overloaded, I kind of explode. So I just have to take a step back and try to get in a daily routine of building myself back up spiritually. And that's what I've done now, because I had a burnout a couple weeks ago. No, take that, a couple months ago. Yeah, during the summer. And now that it's getting the fall season, my energies, I'm feeling more witchy. So my advice would be take a step back, or study something completely different. Study something, pick up a book about something you've never read before that you find interest in. Or maybe you don't find interest in and you just want to know more about it. Study something different. Change it up. That's my advice. Change it up. What Number 19? What made you share your life as a witch on social media? I saw a lot of amazing YouTube pagans, um, and I wanted to be able to also share my opinions and outlooks and different advice and on things that I practice in my craft, and also to be able to do these tags is kind of fun too. But what really did it is I've always wanted a channel, and I've always wanted to teach certain aspects. Um, so it's kind of a way of me teaching on a grander scale of YouTube, you know. So that's why. Um, 20. Tell us something you know now that you wish you knew when you began walking your path. Um, don't take everything so seriously. I think that's the biggest thing that when it was told me that in ritual one time, don't take it so seriously. I think that was the biggest, like, wow, you know. I mean, there are times when you do need to be serious, and there are times where, you know, being serious may hinder whatever you're doing. But don't take everything in, I mean, it sounds really bad because magic is a serious aspect. Don't take yourself so seriously, I guess you should say. Don't beat yourself up over little things. Like if you're doing a ritual by yourself and you forget a quarter call or you call in the wrong directions, don't beat yourself up over it. They know what you mean, and they're probably laughing with you, not at you. So laugh at it. The power of laughter is one of the most positive things that you could do. So don't be so serious with yourself. And also, another thing is you'll always be learning. I think that was something that um, someone advised me when I was first starting, that you will never stop learning. You will learn something new about your path, about your craft, every day of your life. So yeah. Number 21, can you share a simple craft with us? Ooh. Ugh. Hmm. Well, since I'm at work, I could do something that I usually do at work all the time. I work at a smoke shop, and so we sell incense, and I'm allowed to burn incense. Excuse me. I'm allowed to burn incense in the shop. And when I do burn incense, I say or empower the particular incense to bring in customers. Or to bring in money or to bring in business success. That's the great thing to do. You can use incense kind of like a candle. So you hold the incense and you infuse it with your intention. Um, this say I'm bringing in better business, or I'm thanking the spirits of business. Um, and you keep that intention in your mind. You light it, and with incense, you have to let it stay lit for a little bit, then blow it out and let the smoke rise and take that intention up to the heavens, or up to, you know, out to nature, or whatever, what have you. I think that's a very simple thing to do. Instead of, you don't have a candle, you can use incense. Um, any tips or words of wisdom for newbies? Um, don't be in, excuse me, don't be in such a hurry to get all the latest things for your altar. Don't be in such a hurry to find your patron, matron deity. Um, I personally, I don't have one set patron and matron. I have multiples that I work with. So don't be in such a hurry to learn. Take your time, experience, um, and don't just be a book pagan. Um, try to get as much experience as you can. So, shout out to some witchy channels as number 23. Some of my favorite channels, I'm actually going to shout out Noah to Bastari just because he tagged me in this. He's a good channel to watch. A couple other ones, Ember Honey Raven, Lady Grave Dancer, Sunshine Morning Ray, um, Simply Gabrielle. Simply Gabrielle is really good. I love watching her videos. She has some awesome stuff. Joe Morris, she's really good as well. Rihanna Dream Dancer, she has some really good videos on our channel. And the last one, Ava's House of Spirit. Those are all amazing, amazing channels to watch if you're new to the pagan community or just need some new and fun videos to watch. Number 24. Two more questions left. Name some magical places you wish to visit. I would love to visit New Orleans. I really want to visit Louisiana, New Orleans, and visit Voodoo and Hoodoo Central. But overseas, I want to visit Australia, Greece, England. There's a lot of places I just want to go visit. Ireland. But I think I want to visit Greece. So yeah, I want to see everything, Greek and things like that. So number 25, it's speak from your heart. Sorry. I'd have to say that if speaking from your heart, speaking from my heart, it's kind of like a shout out to those who feel that they're misunderstood or alone or basically how I felt as a teenager. I felt that I didn't feel like I was alone. I had friends, and my family was very supportive, but I did feel misunderstood because I was an aspiring art student. You're not alone. There are people just like you. May not be in your surrounding area, but there are people that are just like you, going through the same things that you're going through. The best advice I can give, that was something that was given through a channeling session that I did in a circle that I was part of. Hecate's best wisdom is there's always something positive in a negative situation. So look for the positivity in any negative situation. Try to change that negative situation into something positive and learning, into a learning experience. So that's me speaking from the heart. So I hope you guys enjoyed my Instagram Witchy Community tag video. I tag every single one of you bastards that watch this. And I say bastards in a loving way. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I have to get started with work. So I will see you guys later on. Many blessings.